Hello, my friends. Welcome, all of you, 109,000 wanderers, star seeds, and light workers, to this session. Today, I have channeled the Galactic Federation to answer very interesting questions, and the information which was released in this session has been hidden from the common people as far as I understand. The information is really mind-blowing, and a lot of lost information has been revealed in the session. I basically ask about what are walk-in souls and what are the different types of walk-ins and how they work. So walk-ins have been explained, which is a very interesting concept. And also I've asked a second query, which I'll keep it as a surprise because it is very interesting and you'll learn a lot from the second query as well. It includes information about Atlantis, reptilians, Lemuria, very fascinating stuff indeed. And also, before the session begins, I want to say that we have a meditation upcoming on 26th of January to protect the Looking Glass event, and I hope you can join us on the meditation which I will host on my Patreon. If you want to join, the link is on the description. Also, I have around 460 plus channeled messages and censored sessions which you can access on my Patreon. The link is on the description. And with that being said, I want to say a big thank you to all of you for liking this video, because your like is a service to humanity, and when you like something, to the universe will like you back in some way, shape or form. With that being said, enjoy the session, my friends.
We are the Galactic Federation now in communication through this channel's internal system of communication at this timeline. We are here to offer our thoughts and insights through this channel's inner vibratory system of communication. However, we suggest and recommend to all those beings who shall listen to our messages today to understand and accept only those facets of the thought forms which provides deeper resonance, and leave behind those which do not resonate at this time. The first query which has been placed today relates primarily with what is a walk-in and the different types of walk-ins. Furthermore, we as the Galactic Federation must state that a walk-in is a spiritual phenomenon as defined by the people of your planet, in which a spiritual complex or the consciousness of the outside source enters the physical body and inhabits it. Usually, this occurs after the demise or crossing over of the previous soul who was resident in the physical bodily complex. In such cases of a walk-in, the new spiritual complex is perceived to be with a different identity, with different memories and traits than the previous inhabitants. However, these entities may still possess aspects of the personality, experiences and beliefs of the personality who previously lived in the bodily complex in question. It is primarily perceived by many of the people of the Earth planet that walk-ins serve to continue the mission of the entity they inhabit, rather than simply taking over the existing individual identity or physical bodily complex. Walk-ins primarily happen for many different reasons. Sometimes the spiritual complex may want to complete a specific task or mission during its incarnational lifetime. Hence, when the previous individual crosses over or transitions to another spiritual plane, another spiritual entity may come to inhabit their bodily complex to complete the unfinished mission. It can also happen when a particular soul feels particularly connected to the personality they are inhabiting and wants to explore the life more fully, or even if a spiritual complex may have chosen a specific life for a certain type of soul contract, which revolves around learning lessons related with exploration of the self, including many of the catalysts which are meant to teach entities about their own true spiritual nature. Furthermore, the aspects of the three most commonly found types of walk-ins upon your planetary sphere can be divided into a pre-planned walk-in, a contract walk-in, and a trauma walk-in. Furthermore, we shall now elaborate on these. A planned walk-in occurs primarily when two spiritual complexes have a pre-existing contracts or agreements to inhabit the same physical bodily complex. The new soul is already aware of the various circumstances that it is entering into and is prepared for this experience. Furthermore, contract walk-in refers to situations wherein a soul has made an agreement for a specific task or purpose during its time within that bodily complex, and trauma walk-ins are a very rare type of walk-in and are often as a result of deep emotional trauma or near-death experiences. In many cases, these types of walk-ins can occur due to a spiritual soul not wanting to handle the extreme situations revolving around fear and pain associated with the situation. During these types of walk-ins, the existing soul primarily will often leave the bodily complex, and a new soul will enter in its place to complete the person's remaining tasks. Furthermore, we must also state that there are other types of linkages between various souls, which primarily can be defined as soul entanglements or soul braids, wherein these are primarily a type of walk-in experience where an advanced soul who has already attained ability to enter into higher density consciousness joins their energetic frequency to a bodily complex formed by other spiritual entity by becoming the dominant energy of that karmic activity. Furthermore, we must now answer the other portion of the query related with is the story of Ramayana, as known primarily by the people of your planets based on true or real events. Furthermore, we the Galactic Federation must state that the answer is the events are indeed true and real. However, These events primarily occurred in a density which may be in a different dimension or a density higher in the suboctave than the current Earth vibration around 17,200 years ago. In the Earth planetary sphere in the location named as Atlantis, the Earth planet in that location was primarily being, at that time, in the location of Atlantis ruled by the entity named as Dasratha, who primarily had 4 sons named as Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, and Satrughna. The location was peaceful and prosperous at that time, and many of the people who were involved in this aspect were delighted and happy with their life cycle. In the events which followed, a group of Pleiadian social memory complex visited Atlantis as they were on a mission to explore the universal complex and also to spread the knowledge of love light in the location of Atlantis. During this time, the entity named as Dasratha welcomed them with open arms and allowed them to learn from them. The Pleiadians became entangled and fascinated by the culture and the traditions of the Atlantean social memory complex. However, during this time, not every entity was found to be happy within the arrival of the Pleiadian social memory complex, and a group of reptilian social memory complexes primarily who lived on the inner earth planes at that time were able to see that the Pleiadians were a threat to their existence and their purpose of spreading negative polarization. Furthermore, they perceived that the Pleiadians were on the location of Atlantis to spread love vibration to the people in order to allow more entities to be graduated into the 4th density consciousness during that time. Hence the reptilian social memory complex, in order to stop these plans, decided to attack Atlantis in order to destroy the Pleiadian social memory complex. During this time, the entities revolved, primarily named as Dasratha, in the vibratory sound complex, and its sons knew that they had to protect their guests. They decided to fight with the reptilian social memory complex and defend their location of Atlantis. The entities named as Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, and Shatrughna led the army of Atlantis into a type of defensive battle. The battle was fierce against the reptilian social memory complex. However, the Atlanteans fought bravely, and alongside the energetic love vibrations being transmitted from the Pleiadians, the Atlanteans emerged victorious. Thereby, the reptilian social memory complex was defeated, and only 25% of the reptilians survived, and the Pleiadians were safe in the spreading of love lights in that time. The Pleiadian social memory complex were grateful to the Atlanteans for their hospitality and bravery, and hence they decided to share their knowledge and technology of manipulation of space-time and other attributes using thought forms with the people of the Atlantean system. At that time, the people of Atlantis learned a large amount of knowledge from the Pleiadian social memory complex. They gained information about the stars and the planets, and also they were able to learn how to use traveling through space-time. They also learned about the negative polarity, such as the reptilian social memory complexes, and also how to defend against negative energy vibrations. However, one day, the entity named in the vibratory sound complex as Rama, who primarily at that time was the king of the location named as Lemuria, heard about the progress and the power of the Atlanteans and decided to collude with the reptilian social memory complex in order to create an attack against Atlantis, because its vibrations were in the vibration of jealousy. Furthermore, the entity named as Ravana had a plan to use the reptilian social memory complex to conquer the planets and enslave the location. However, the entities from Atlantis named as Rama and its brothers knew that they had to protect the planet once again. Furthermore, they were able to set out to defend the planet Earth and Atlantis against the plans of Ravana and its army of negatively polarized entities. Further, the entities were involved in a long battle. However, the entities with positive vibrations and polarizations, such as the Rama and its brothers, bravely fought. With the help of the Pleiadians, they were able to defeat the negatively polarized entity known as Ravana and its army, and this was the victory which was celebrated by the people of Atlantis, a victory over Ravana and the reptilian social memory complex. Indeed, this was an event which happened in a different dimensional reality, much separate from the current illusion complex. Furthermore, we must state that these events primarily are still being used as a reference upon your planets to teach about friendship, bravery, and adventure. Therefore, we, the Galactic Federation, now leave you, beloveds, in light and love. Bye.
So my friends, in today's session, the Galactic Federation have revealed information which I found to be really useful and fascinating. The thing that I learned about soul walk-ins was that they stated that there are various types of soul walk-ins. From what I remember, basically what they stated was that whenever a soul has some unfinished mission and it cannot do the mission in its own way, then a higher soul or a soul which is more capable enters into the body. This can happen through various means, such as near-death experiences, or even after certain types of traumatic experiences wherein the original soul leaves and the other soul comes in. Even during that situation, the personality of the soul remains. That's what they said in the session. And also the Galactic Federation has stated that there are various types of soul walk-ins, which I primarily remember. I only remember one of them, which is like the soul braids kind of thing, which they stated was like an interlinking soul, which walks in or which comes up whenever there is some kind of mission to be fulfilled in a entity's life cycle. And the second query was very interesting indeed, where I asked about the truth about Ramayana, which is a mythology or a spiritual teaching which before this we did not know whether it was real or not, but it turns out it's actually real, and it has a lot of information which was from Atlantis and from Lemuria, which included the battles which happened during that time. But they stated that this occurred in a different dimensional reality, I believe, which is currently a little bit higher than our reality. That's what they said in the session. As far as I understand, from a limited mind, there are infinite timelines and infinite possibilities, like a tesseract. If you've seen a tesseract, which represents a fourth dimension, you can see that there are infinite like places you can go or enter into. It is absolutely mind-blowing, and this is what I learned from the session. And also, if you learned something, just leave me a comment down below. And also, if you want to know about your own soul's journey, your past life, and your soul's evolutionary pathway, or any other questions you may have, you can send me an email and I'll channel for you when I have free time. And also, I want to say a big thank you to all of you for visiting my website, where there are searchable transcripts. If you want to read or search something specific, you can place it on the search bar, and then it will show up. Whatever you want to search, you can go there. And I want to say big thank you to all of you for also downloading the PDF of the channeled messages, which is freely available on the description of this video. With that being said, I hope you'll enjoy this session over here, and until next time, see you.